What's up, y'all? It's your girl, El Rochelle, the Hardwood Diva. I am so happy to be here for our NFL Week 11 picks. It is Thursday, November 13th. The season is definitely well underway. We are 2 weeks from Thanksgiving, which means we are getting into the thick of things. We are starting to take a look at the playoff picture, so that's exciting. So let's go ahead and get started with our first games. So for tonight, we've got the Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is a really good game. Both of these teams are doing very well. They're both kind of fighting in their division as always. They're one step behind New England. But for this one, I'm going to pick the Miami Dolphins at home. Just feel like they might have a better chance at home. But let's be honest, both of these teams have the opportunity to win this game this week. They've both been playing fairly well. They're both fairly healthy. The Buffalo Bills are getting players back that they had lost for a few weeks. So this should be a really interesting game. I'm looking forward to it. Sunday, our 10 a.m. slate of games. First up, we've got the Minnesota Vikings versus the Chicago Bears. I'm going with Chicago in this one, even though they have looked horrendous for the last few weeks. I'm going with them simply because I don't trust Minnesota to win. So I'm going with Chicago. Though let's be honest, they've looked pretty bad. I don't know what the chemistry is like on their team. I believe Brandon Marshall is pretty pissed off, especially when it comes to his quarterback and not feeling like he's getting the looks that he deserves. If you've got someone like Brandon Marshall, someone like Alshon Jeffrey, if you're not throwing the ball to them, not actually getting them the ball, it's really ridiculous to me. I'm not sure what's Jay Cutler's issue. He just seems to be one of those middling quarterbacks that has the talent, the arm strength. It's just something else is missing, and I'm not really sure what it is. But I'll go with Chicago, but let's be honest, Minnesota could definitely pull this game out. This is a toss-up. Just going with Chicago because it's at home. I'd hate to see the Bears get booed off the field. Houston versus Cleveland. I'm going with Houston. Cleveland is doing well with Brian Hoyer, but I just think Houston has the better overall team, so I'll go with Houston for this one. Seattle versus Kansas City. This one has been a flip-flop. My husband especially has been flip-flopping with this one. I am solid with my first pick, which is Seattle. I think the one thing is Seattle and Kansas City play a very similar type of game. I do believe Russell Wilson is a bit better at quarterback than Alex Smith is, but they are heavy on the run game, especially right now, both of them, and their quarterback play has not been stellar. It's just solid. They get you points, and they get you wins. I just don't believe that style of football can actually beat Seattle. So I think Seattle needs you to be strong on both ends. That's how like a Cowboys team, was able to beat them by actually being a strong running team and a very strong quarterback team. So I'm going with Seattle in this one. But again, this is another one of those that could easily be a toss-up. But I just see Seattle being able to take this game with them. San Francisco versus the New York Giants. Now, let's see here. San Francisco, they're so confusing. They lose, they win, I think they'll beat New York because, well, the Giants are the Giants right now. It's just really sad to watch, actually. So I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers. They actually looked really well last week when they ran the ball. Surprise, surprise. Who knew? Crazy, right? So I'm hoping this extends over to this game this week. Atlanta versus Carolina. Carolina is looking very, very poor. I'm not happy with what I'm seeing out of Cam Newton, and I do believe a lot of that is coaching. I don't see an improvement in him, and I believe that the plays that are being called for him are not smart. They're not utilizing his talents the way that they should. So I'm definitely feeling like there may be a change coming up very soon. I don't think unless something crazy happens during the season, I don't think they'll do it in the middle of the season, but I don't believe that they will be bringing Rivera back next year. So I'm actually happy about that. I think Cam Newton needs someone else to help him. So we'll see. Denver versus St. Louis. St. Louis, they try. But they've even replaced their backup quarterback, who was doing really well because, well, 4 interceptions and just got a little iffy last week. So they're going with someone new. So I'm going with Denver. Tampa Bay versus Washington. Washington. Yeah, that's pretty easy right now. They actually are doing okay. I'm not a huge fan of them just because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, but I'll give them credit. They're looking better. They're not 1-6 like Tampa Bay, so there's that. So I'll just say I'll go with Washington. Cincinnati versus New Orleans. New Orleans. It's at home. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt this week against Cincinnati. I don't know. They did not look very well last week versus San Francisco. They did come back, but I think they have this one against Cincinnati at home. I just think they can be a better team. So we'll see. Our 1 p.m. games. Oakland versus San Diego. San Diego. Sorry, Oakland. This isn't where you get your win. I know San Diego does that thing where they like kind of fall off. Like they either start off really well and fall off, or they're not doing very well at the beginning and then come into their own. So technically they should be falling off right now, but I don't think their fall is far enough to lose to the Oakland Raiders this week. So I'm going with San Diego. Detroit versus Arizona. Arizona, only because they still find a way to win when they lose big time players. They lost Carson Palmer earlier in the year, put in Drew Stanton, and they missed no beats. So I don't see why losing Carson Palmer again and putting in Drew Stanton will make them lose a beat. This is a little different because Drew Stanton knows that he's playing for the rest of the season, and if they get into the playoffs, as opposed to just a few games, Carson Palmer is out, tore his ACL. He is not coming back. But I still think this team plays a very good team game. So because of that, they're confident in each other. They're confident in the next man up. So I'm going with Arizona. I just think that at home, they have that opportunity to win. If it was in Detroit, I might go with Detroit. But for this one, I'm going with Arizona. Philadelphia versus Green Bay. I'm going to go with Green Bay. It's at Green Bay. Though I do like what I saw from Mark Sanchez last week. And I believe that offense fits him much better than the New York Jets offense that he had in the last couple of years that he was there. I just think that Green Bay, having played together for as long as they have, they spread the ball. Aaron Rodgers can get the ball to anybody on that field. And what I saw from Clay Matthews last week, he switched positions and he was a beast. So I'm just going to have to go with Green Bay on this one. I didn't have a pick, but I'm going with Green Bay. Like, the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I think Green Bay has this, especially if it's at home. Our Sunday night game, 5:30 p.m., New England versus Indianapolis. It's in Indianapolis. It is Tom Brady. It is also Andrew Luck. I don't know who to choose, y'all. I don't. I think I might go with New England just because they're the more steady team. This is tough. I'll go with New England. I'm surprised myself. I don't like New England. I surprised myself by picking them. But I just think overall they might be a better team. So I'll go with New England. They just somehow figure out a way to win. But it's a toss-up. It's in Indy. Indianapolis could come out on top. Monday, 5:30 p.m., Pittsburgh versus Tennessee. Pittsburgh needs this game because they looked horrible last week. Horrible. It's really bad, and it was embarrassing. And they need a win against a team like a Tennessee. Problem is, they win the games that they aren't expected to win and lose the ones that they should win. So, I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm picking Pittsburgh because I'd be stupid to pick Tennessee. So, there you have it. Those are my picks for the week. Let me know what you think. Are you picking Pittsburgh over Tennessee? And I will talk to you later. Have a good week. Deuces.